Futures pointing to a lower open amid worries the trade war could push economies around the world into a recession. For the latest on the trade war, Eamon Javers joins us now from Washington. Eamon, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Kayla. Wall Street this morning continuing to try to digest the impact of this trade war on the global economy. Goldman Sachs over the weekend putting out a note suggesting that they've concluded that the situation is a little bit worse than they thought. Here's the finding from Goldman Sachs. They're lowering their fourth quarter growth estimate to 1.8%. They call it a modest change to the downside, say that it's caused by sentiment and uncertainty. That is, things like CapEx by companies that might be less likely to be willing to invest in this climate. Also contributing, they say, are financial conditions and supply chain disruptions. So all of that, they say, due to taking into consideration some of the uncertainty and confusion surrounding this trade situation as that trade war between the United States and China continues to grind on this week. For his part, the president over the weekend tweeting some positive sentiment himself, not offering any specifics, but just suggesting that things are going well. Progress is being made, says the president. So that's where we begin the week, Kayla.
Well, Eamon, it's interesting. The headlines this morning about trade worries bubbling over seem to be looking squarely at Hong Kong. And if there is military intervention there, how much more or less likely does that make Beijing's willingness to do a trade deal? We haven't heard recently from the president on Hong Kong specifically.
Right.
He said in late July, President Xi was doing the right thing, but that it had been going on for a long time. Any sense of where the White House stands on this now?
Well, look, the president has been taking a very light touch on the Hong Kong issue. He's been asked several times about it over the past couple of weeks. He has always sort of kept a hands-off approach on that. And I think the question to look at here is, what does this mean for Xi Jinping's own domestic politics? A lot of analysts will suggest that he can't afford to look weak here in the face of these protests. He also can't afford to look weak in the face of American pressure on his economy domestically. So at some point, is there spillover from the Hong Kong situation into the trade situation, or the trade situation into Hong Kong, vice versa? That's the question. This is a leader now in China who's under a lot of pressure, and there's a real flashpoint in Hong Kong potentially brewing. So it's something to watch, and I don't think anybody can predict with exact certainty what's going to happen here.